Good morning, friends, and thank you for joining me on Bloomer Chat today at 8 a.m. Central Standard Time. I hope you're having a great day and it continues throughout the rest of it. We're going to have a story time today, so pull up a chair, grab a coffee, cup of tea, a favorite beverage. I'm going to have the Pepsi, and we're going to get into it. But first, make sure you subscribe to the channel so you don't miss another episode because I got plenty more stories where this came from. Plus, eventually we'll get into the cooking and other things. So anyway, when my son was small, I would imagine about 4 or 5. He wasn't in the first grade for sure. And we were visiting my aunt and uncle, and they were like my surrogate parents because both my parents died. I was younger, and they became surrogate grandparents to my children. So there were these helicopter seeds. I'm not sure what tree it was, but they were there, and he got a bucket, and he and my uncle were collecting them, and he was all excited because he was always big into nature. I mean, that kid, you had to really be careful when you went into his pockets because I wore the latex living gloves because I never knew what was going to be in there. And I found a lot of wriggly things, which of course would make me scream. So my uncle convinced them that they were magic seeds, which wasn't real hard because my son adored him and just thought everything he said was the gospel truth. So he was telling them they were magic seeds. So they went out and they decided to plant some of these magic seeds before my son went to bed. And so they planted them and they watered them. And then, he went in, got his bath, got all ready, did the story, and he goes to sleep. Well, little did all of us know. The next day we come out, there's this little seedling about this tall where those seeds had been. And everybody's looking at one another, and I looked at my uncle and Well, my son was beside himself. See, because he kept telling me, because I was trying to keep his expectations down. They are magic seeds. They are magic seeds, Mom. I said, well, yeah, they must be magic seeds, but I don't want you to get your hopes up too much. So anyway, he's all excited. He's talking about how he's going to make all this money from his magic seeds. The kid was an entrepreneur from the get-go. And then he's going to buy a farm for him and my uncle to live on so they can have cows and goats and pigs and the whole 9 yards. We didn't live on farms, but he wanted to live on a farm with my uncle and the rest of us, of course, but mainly my uncle. So again, he waters his little now seedling tree, goes to bed. We all get up the next morning. He rushes out there. Now the tree's this big. Now, mind you, we were staying there for a week. And this went on every night. He would water it and it would get bigger and bigger. And finally, I had figured out what's going on. So he's in bed and I'm telling my uncle, pretty soon you're going to have to get a 10 or 12-foot tree and put in there with these magic seed things. And we were laughing because he was all excited. So then their neighborhood, they were all real close and buddies, and my aunt and uncle had a pool, so everybody hung out there all the time. So Nicholas saw his first customers for his magic seeds because he could demonstrate on the tree as people would come in to swim and they would see how the tree progressed every day. And of course, they were all good sports, so they bought some of his magic seeds. And this went on and on and on. And then finally, I told my uncle, you've got to do something because this kid will drive me insane and he'll want me to take him door to door to sell these seeds. And we just distracted him with something else. I can't remember where we took him, something like to do with stories, or we got him off the magic seeds, needless to say. But That was quite an adventure. And just the look and the delight. And he was so cute because he had like big brown eyes and dark curly hair. And he was just so sweet and so excited and so proud. And, he was sure he's going to be able to sell enough of those magic seeds to buy a farm. And I don't really remember how we got him off that kick of the magic seeds. I think at some point we must have had to say, well, Gibby was doing that for you, so you wouldn't be disappointed because otherwise we would have had to be important redwoods to put in the backyard there. But anyway, did you ever have any like cute little stories like that with your kids that thought something was magic and you tried to make that magic happen for them? If so, I'd really like to hear about it. Or maybe it was you. Maybe when you were little, you thought something was magic and, you know, it kept happening and then finally you found out that it wasn't. I'd really like to hear about that too because I enjoy everybody's stories. They're fun and they're fun for other people. So if you have any good stories about anything magic, and maybe you guys had magic seeds, who knows? Maybe you had somebody do the same thing. Never know. So please like, comment, share, and subscribe. And don't forget to hit the little notification bell so you don't miss our next video. And I really want to take this time to say I appreciate you and I thank you all for participating with me. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye, friend.